Hello and welcome to the Quipper channel. I am Jason, your host, and we are on our way to shops. I'm going to pick up some chicken. I just thought I'd pick up some chicken. I've got about £5 on me, so I can do that. Got just enough to pick up a bag of chicken breasts. So, yay. I am okay. Quite an exhausting morning already because I took Zach out and it was a little bit later than normal, but I wanted to let him go round this for a little walk around the cemetery before I left the house. And he's almost like a service dog to me when I'm out there, because he's like a focus for myself. It's almost like a third type of safe space. It's not fully formed, it's hard to do and it's exhausting, but it's worth it to take him out for a little thing and let him see how things are out there, and he likes a little tiny walk. Unfortunately, there were two people in the cemetery and one person outside the cemetery that had to navigate, but I went, as soon as I saw them in the distance, I turned around and went the opposite way, just so that I could make sure I didn't have to interact with anyone. But it went okay. Got home, came out, set up the Quingo for coming out, and my next door neighbour came out and we had a little talk. See, my next door neighbour she's really good. She's a lovely person, and she's part of my safe space because I know her well. My safe space outside my house extends to my gate, my fence, and my next door neighbour's front garden. Where that's about as far as I feel comfortable, and I know that space, and it's okay. So talking to her is never a bad thing, and she's lovely. She's got a lovely daughter, and her and her husband have been some of the best neighbours I could ever wish for. That they, when it comes to Christmas time, they always bake a extra Christmas cake for me, and in the homemade, gorgeous with lovely icing and that. So yeah, I love interacting with people who I know. But like, I was talking to a good friend of mine a couple of days ago on Discord, explaining how, and she was explaining to me how she's fine with only having like 4 people in her life that she trusts. She doesn't want to meet anyone new, she doesn't want to bring anybody else into the thingy. It isn't that she's antisocial, it's just that she and me are so used to being let down. We're so used to pinning our hopes on someone new, and then as soon as you start being yourself, they ghost you or give you problems and issues, and they don't think about how to interact with you. And so having 4 or 5 people, which is about the amount I've got, who I trust completely, it works. It's amount of social connection I can do without having to worry about what is going on and what this person is going to react to me like. Of course, this weekend was it started out very dark, but me moving over to Universal Credit is something of a nightmare thing that I've always been scared and worried about. But actually, now I'm starting to shift over it, apart from the you're not going to get any money for 5 weeks problem, I'm actually okay with it because I get to interact with it all through computer. with my technology affinity, it's actually a good thing that I feel this way. So it may be a positive thing. Like I said, I'm looking into getting myself a new therapist, because what people don't know is most of the help for people like me is either charity-based or short form, as in the government will pay for 4, 5 or 6 visits to a therapist or a psychologist or all the other different helps, the mental health care professionals and that, but most of it's done by charity. And once you're settled in, once you're actually not a danger to yourself, once your independent stuff is actually working, they remove you from the system. It isn't that you're well, it's just you've created a coping systems and they don't have this, and they are like 300, 400, 500% overbooked with people wanting to see them, so they kick you off, they sign you off. And the bad thing about that is you do no longer have a set of... Just want to check something. I wanted to make sure my wheels were okay on here. Yes, both wheels are okay. I just wondered if my wheels were going flat. No, they're okay. So yeah. Oh, I want to drink. I'm going to have a quick drink. So I'm looking in at the moment to finding a private one that I will have to pay for per month out of my PIP. It's but because of my problems, finding a therapist that fits and that is capable of dealing with my problems, it's not easy. It's my issues are, in fact, most of the charities and the government set up stuff. It's like when I first went to the I don't know why it was called, but in 2019 they had a set up in the UK government. It was like a mental health thing where you could go to them and talk to them, but it was low level stuff in that. The first meeting I had with them, when I started to tell them all the stuff, the person said, "No, I'm going to stop you right there. There's no way we can help you. What you're dealing with is so far beyond what we can help. We can help with a little bit of therapy, a little bit of talk, but you need so we're going to put you on the local mental health thingy as an extreme case to be helped by the local people." So that's how they started trying to save me back then. I've got a new speedometer, an odometer. It's a speedometer. It's called speedometer and GPS and everything. And I paid a tiny bit of money for it to get the pro version, and it's amazing. It does distance, max speed, really accurate. Satellite. It's connected to 32 of 42 satellites at the moment. GPS connectivity 92%, so it's pretty accurate with how I'm doing. So I really like it. Yes, I jumped from subject to subject to subject. That's my ADHD brain just doing its thing. Whenever I walk past bins and stuff like this, I always look for if someone's put the computer out or anything. They don't do it as often as they used to, but people used to put computers out and bits and pieces and take them home. This was back in 2008 when I was looking after Paola. and I'd fix them up and then sell them because we had no money. Yes, my brain is very... My ADHD side of my brain is definitely in control at the moment, and all the flitting to different subject matter all over the freaking place. So we're going to go to Lidl, pick up some chicken, and then I will go home and make myself something to eat. It's funny when, let's get back to the idea of a therapist for me. It's funny because I wrote an opening letter in email to them to ask them whether or not they could basically just lay out the basics of me. And I realised after I'd done the letter I'd missed off like 90% of my stuff. Because the stuff I deal with is so normal to me. I actually don't remember to actually communicate it. For example, yes, I did put in the letter that I've got official diagnosis for ADHD, Bipolar type 2, Autistic spectrum disorder, PTSD. I listed some of the basic traumas of my life, father dying when I was 12, my mum dying of early onset dementia, my mum dealing with my wife having cancer, incurable cancer for 20 years, and watching her slowly die. Those, little traumas like that. But when I sent the letter, I thought, I didn't mention about the person destroying my mum's finances and selling all her stuff and all the trauma and trust issues that came with that, the heroin addicts and the criminals that took over next door and laid my house to siege for almost 2 years. I didn't put any of that down. It was like, yeah, that's just stuff. It's like, yeah, just deal with it. So if I get a therapist, they've got to know what they're talking about, and they've got to be able to deal with heavy trauma. And once again, I know I'm not special in any way, shape or form. I aren't a unique snowflake. There is a lot of people like me that have more than the average problems. I love being able to leave here, my home, and go places like this. So all I'm going to do is be picking up a couple of items. So I will go around the unedited, uncut. Of course I turn the speed down and everything because I'll be inside the shop. Okay, so let's turn the speed down a bit. Turn it on to slow motion version. And go and pick up some chicken. just a little. Oh, I only have £5, so I'm just buying pretty much one item. What am I looking for? Well, ideally I'd like to get chicken breasts. Okay. Let's go further. Go forward. So, food. A little bit. More than I expected to pay. Let's have a see how much money I've got. Exactly. I need to just check. I've got to just check my money. 1, 2, 5. £5.60. Oh, you know what might be best? I'm going to go round again and check. I'm just thinking. So I can't afford to get the chicken, which I'm sad about. But that's okay. Go around here again. I want to have a look at the cooked chicken. Actually, no. Let's go look at their frozen stuff. Meat has become so expensive these days. I'm going to have to stop the video now anyway because we're coming up to the point of here. So I'll just stop it here and just press this button. So bye bye for now.